Callie Haverda, star of that 90s show, has released a frightening tease for the ending of Part 3, and it has me very concerned about some of the characters from that show. Part 2, the first group of episodes for Season 2, also ended on a cliffhanger, but Haverda teases that Part 3, the Season 2 finale, will be considerably more dramatic. While I'm curious to find out what she's talking about, I can't help but worry that something shady is on its way, and that 90s show Season 3 will take a whole different turn. In that 90s show, Haverda plays Red Forman, Eric and Donna's daughter, who comes to Point Place, Wisconsin, every summer to reside with her grandparents. Season 1 of this journey began in 1995, while the first part of Season 2, dubbed that 90s show Part 2, begins in 1996. However, these 8 episodes only get Laya and her friends through the first half of the summer. Part 3, due out on October 24, 2024, will start where they left off, with the finale taking place right before Laya returns to Chicago for another academic year. Callie Haverda says that 90s show Part 3's ending is scary. In an interview following the release of that 90s show Part 2, Haverda discussed her experience filming the Part 3 finale. Rather than the humorous finale of Part 2, which saw a car crash into the Forman kitchen, it appears like the next episode of the Netflix series will conclude on a more melancholy note. Haverda stated that the closing scene was definitely scary with an edge of sadness. She also stated that Part 3 of that 90s show will conclude on a cliffhanger that will leave her in tears. I'm concerned something might happen to Red, Kitty, or Bob in that 90s show Part 3. While we can only speculate about the scary finale in that 90s show Part 3, I can't help but believe it will include one of the adult characters from that 70s show. Red and Kitty Forman, as well as Bob Pinciotti, are the series' heart and soul, and a cliffhanger in which either of them experiences a medical emergency would undoubtedly meet Haverda's description of this major event. Part 3 might finish with one of these three's lives hanging in the balance as the cast of that 90s show band together to support one another during such a tough time. Based on the clues in that 90s show Part 2, I'd believe that Red Forman is in danger. He had heart palpitations in Part 2, Episode 7, Baby, 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 and learned a valuable lesson about living life to the fullest while he still could. This may set up a more severe heart attack in Part 3. Furthermore, Bob Pinciotti's return could indicate that something will happen to Red, as Don Stark's character could fill his shoes if actor Kurtwood Smith decides to leave that 90s show permanently. A cliffhanger involving beloved characters from that 70s show would be a huge risk. While I can't help but believe that Haverda's statements regarding the ending of that 90s show Part 2 are a foreshadowing of something disastrous for Red Forman, there is also evidence to suggest otherwise. If the series kills off Red, it could only be due to the actor's desire to leave the show, not due to creative reasons. However, Haverda's assertion that she is confident that everything will be resolved does not fully match this. If Smith was leaving permanently, she would have known about it. Even if this hinted scary finale involves Red, Kitty, or Bob in a less permanent way, such as an accident or illness that they would recover from in Part 4, it would be a big risk for that 90s show. Though the younger cast of the spin-off series has begun to gain popularity, the grown-ups from that 70s show remain the primary source of humorous attraction. Putting them through an emotionally charged conclusion may harm this relationship, decreasing the probability that viewers will return to the series. Of course, we can only wait until October to find out for sure.